Hello friends, welcome. Friends, if you recall, yesterday I did a video on RBI's rate cut and I questioned whether it will boost growth or contain rupee devaluation. This is on account of the Reserve Bank of India's Governor's statement, which is point number 5, which said that India is currently facing a lot of volatility in terms of capital outflow on account of US bond yields hardening. If you recall that video, and I'll paste a link on the description of this video and you can watch this video. Now friends, why I'm doing this video today is to give you another data set which will tell you that what kind of outflow that we are seeing from various other countries. From an US long-term foreign investments are concerned, which will give you a reference to actually where India stands. Because this is very important to understand that where India stands, because this outflow of foreign exchange from India or outflow of capital from India in dollar terms is causing a lot of stress on rupee. And we are really concerned about the rupee devaluing further. So in this regard, I pointed out this item of RBI's governor statement, which I told you is extremely important, right? So I will not go further into the details of the past video that I have done. I just gave you a preview and you can go and watch it. Now today what I am going to do is, because the cross-border flow of funds is very difficult to capture within the country, because there are different dimensions on which this cross-border flow of funds are measured, which are not aggregated in one location in a simultaneous manner. There is a lot of phase lag, so you can't really tell what is going on. So friends, there is one way of looking into this data, and that is exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video, which is called the USTIC data. What is USTIC data? USTIC data refers to Treasury International Capital data, where there are various SLT tables, right, which measures capital inflow and outflow. So you have got SLT1, SLT2, SLT3, SLT4. I have captured and aggregated all this data in my website. If you want to go and visit, and you can see what kind of capital inflows and outflows are happening. Each and every table captures a different dimension of inflows and outflow. Now here there is one table called SLT2. Now SLT2, if you go to this web page, you will find that this is called SLT2, Table 2, Foreign Long-Term Security Held by US Residents. Now, this security captures bond as well as stocks, both of them. Now, this is in a very, you can say raw format, very difficult to make any sense out of this, right? If you look at this, it says that there are different types of columns here. Total foreign securities, then we have got holdings, net purchases, valuation change, holding. So there are various columns and you can go on, and all the countries are. So let me just take my pen out of this picture so that you can see. So you can see all the countries are listed with different, time scale on a monthly basis, which are presented in this table. Very difficult to visualize what is going on by looking at this table. So friends, what I've done is that I have created a automated code by which I can download these tables automatically, right, and store in the file. So I run this script and I download it, and using that I have created these tables, and there are multiple of them. You can see that this is SLT4, then SLT3, then you can see SLT1. So today we are going to talk about SLT2. What is SLT2? We spoke about SLT2 is foreign long-term security held by US residents, because that's where we are concerned about. Because if the US residents security held in foreign countries are going to diminish, right, then it will give us an indication of capital outflow taking place from those countries, which RBI Governor was mentioning in this point number 5. You see, this is the point which I mentioned in that. Let me read out for the sake of those viewers who have not seen the earlier video, which says that with receding expectation of size and space of US rate cuts, US dollar has strengthened, bond yields have hardened, emerging market economies have witnessed large capital outflow. And this is part of the governor's statement of 7th February 2025. And I pointed to you the table which kind of gives you an indication as to how bond rates have hardened. So if you look at this table, which gives a which gives a comparative, you can say, view of US CPI inflation, US policy rate, and all the bond rates here in this particular part of the visualization. So I am only interested in the 10-year bond rate because 10-year bond rate is giving an indication of expected inflation, which I told you in the last video, and you will see that the 10-year bond rates are hardening. In January, the number is 4.62% yield. So that's what I mentioned in the earlier video. Now in this video, I am going to focus only on the SL22 table, which will give us a flavor of cross-border flows from US, and you will see which countries from where the capital is flowing out. Now friends, if you recall, I pointed out a particular month, which is September 2024. From that point, the rupee started depreciating exponentially. You know that, I have shown that in the earlier video. Now here you will see incrementally, because this is a time scale which is a monthly time scale, and you will see that from where the total capital outflow, you see total foreign securities holdings, which is kind of getting reduced. So you see that in the last 2 months, because the data is only up to November, we don't have the data of December, we don't have the data of January, but we have data till November. So from September onwards, October and November, you can see that these countries, France, you can see how many billions of dollars have been withdrawn. China, you can see how many billions of dollars of capital outflow has been withdrawn from these countries. South Korea, Brazil, Denmark, Italy, and then we have Indonesia, Spain, and then we have Netherlands, right? And then we have Hong Kong, and then we have Sweden, and then comes India. So India is $30 billion in October, and then $3.28 billion in month of November, and we don't have the data of December and January. But it clearly points to the fact that there has been a lot of capital outflow from US investment, which is the part of this table, which I told you, foreign long-term investment table 2 held by US residents, which is diminishing in these various countries, which can clearly see, right? So if I take a quarterly time scale, then the numbers become very clear. There was a lot of outflows which took place in this period, right? And India was also one of the outflow countries here for FY22 Q4 and FY23 Q1, and then after that it's all green, mostly it is green. And the last quarter FY23, which is beyond September, right, you can see that India has already lost US has already pulled $31.26 billion of investment from India, long-term investment from India. And the top is France, then we have Netherlands, then United Kingdom, then Japan, then Switzerland and India and other countries. So there has been a lot of outflow of foreign exchange from these countries as far as US investment is concerned, and that is why you see that this number, this value, which was at peak $16 trillion, have now dropped down to $15 trillion, which is the US investment in all countries. You see, SLT2 table. So that gives you a reference as to what is going on. So looks like that this bloodbath is continuing in this calendar year also. That's why rupee is depreciating. So I thought to give you a flavor, because in the earlier video I mentioned that I don't have this information, right? How to aggregate this information of outflow of dollars from India, because the dollar is appreciating, rupee is depreciating, and you can clearly see this. So let's do one more thing, because this is from bottom, right? Let's look at from top, where US is investing, right? Where the dollars are flowing. So you can see that it is flowing in Canada, Ireland, right? And then Luxembourg, Taiwan, Panama, Israel. But mainly the other countries, the flow is pretty small, and then it kind of becomes negative from here, right? And there are only hardly any countries where huge outflows are taking place in the month of, in the quarter of FY23, FY25 Q3. So that gives an indication what is going on in the world, because this thing, this investment, this SLT table clearly shows that from quarter on quarter the investment started increasing because the value was increasing, and then suddenly it is dropping. Maybe it is dropping further because of what? Because of this thing which I mentioned here, this one. the hardening of bond rates, which RBI Governor mentioned in his policy statement. And that is the reason I was emphasizing on this point. You understand the importance of this point now. From different angles, you can actually do a lot of, triangulation to see what is going on. And that's a good reference because SLT is a US, aggregation of numbers from investment in different countries. So if it goes down, means the dollars are getting out of our country, and that is putting the rupee under a lot of pressure. So that's all I want to say. Nothing more than this, just to give you a different way of looking at this data, right? Not just from India perspective, but you can go to US and look at the data from their perspective also to see what is going on. So thanks friends for your time, and I hope that you like this video. You can access all this chart, which are all the see, my website is full of chart. My problem is that I have so many charts, I still have not been able to do the demo video which I wanted to do to show you how to use this chart. But whoever is following my YouTube channel, they will be able to understand this automatically. Whenever I get some time, I will do the demos, because I really don't have so much amount of time, right, to do everything together. But I'm trying my level best to make my life easy. My first step was to create that website, which gives me a lot of empowerment to give you this kind of content. Otherwise, it becomes very impossible. All the data may be in Bloomberg and other parts of the world, but those sites are going to charge me 30 lakh, 40 lakh of rupees, and I don't think that I have got any kind of leeway to spend that much amount of money. I can do it in a fraction of the amount because of the skills which I have been able to develop to scrap data, raw data from various websites, which I do it on with my own hand and display it in my website. Thank you friends for your time. I'll come back with a new video next time. Thank you very much.